Hello, I am Ines Vincent and I will present the cognitive mapping of the Asterousia Biosphere Reserve based on a workshop that I conducted during the phase A of the Asterousia training. So I will start by briefly introducing myself. So I'm a PhD candidate at the Asian University in Greece, and my thesis is titled Integrating Local Ecological Knowledge into a Socio-Ecological Approach for Mediterranean Coastal and Island Management under Global Change. I am based in Lesbos at the Asian University in the Laboratory of Ecology and System Dynamic of the Marine Science Department. And I'm also part of the Marie Curie Doctoral Network, Mediversity. So I participate in the training in the phase A of the Asterousia University training in 2025. And thanks to the organizing team, I had the opportunity to conduct a workshop that served as a pilot participatory session for my research. And I will briefly present the method and the preliminary results of this pilot research. On this slide, you can see a picture of the workshop. So that was a 1-hour workshop titled Cognitive Mapping of the Asterousia Biosphere Reserve with about 22 participants from the training. They were mainly UNESCO site managers, but also master and PhD students. Asterousia Biosphere Reserve is a UNESCO designated site in South Crete in Greece, and it was the location of this 1-week training. Cognitive mapping is a participatory research methodology that captures the participant mental representation of a system, as you can see in this picture. The map is composed of key variables and their causal link that connects them. And cognitive mapping can be seen as a mental landscape of the creator knowledge and perception of a system in a graphic representation. It is a qualitative model that explains how the system functions. From this workshop, I collected all the maps produced by participants. This qualitative data can be after translated into matrices, and some data analysis can be performed. So this method is used by researchers to assess the environment. It can be also a tool used to perform scenario analysis and for analyzing the impact of management strategy on the system. But on this preliminary result, I will only present the static, so the description of the socio-ecological system, but not the dynamic and not the scenario. So here is the final map, the mental landscape that we can call of the Asterousia Biosphere Reserve, and I collected all the collective map and I aggregated them into one final map that represents the participant view, knowledge and perspective of the Asterousia Biosphere Reserve. In this slide, I wanted to briefly explain the model analysis. So I use graph theory and I perform some network analysis that calculate the number of connections per variable, their direction, and their contribution to the overall network. So within the system, we can analyze which variable has more or less influence, and we can also sort the variables into different clusters that have a similar function within this model. I cannot go back. Ah no, yes, sorry. So in this slide, I wanted to present the interpretation of the results. So I put some of the picture of this training. So you can see one of the museums that we visited, the olive groves, school for agriculture and also the salary villages. So I will briefly present the three preliminary results of this research. The first one being biodiversity and local tradition are the central concepts of this model, and they are considered the leverage point because they are steering the overall system with their high influence potential. These results reflect the understanding of the participant of the importance of local tradition and the supporting function of biodiversity. Moreover, participants also identify the vulnerability of biodiversity represented by negative effects from agriculture practices, infrastructure, pollution, tourism, and climate change to the variable biodiversity. And as I told you, within the system, we can sort the variable into different clusters. So one of them is called local knowledge, local challenges, and it comprises a variable that receive the effect within the system, and they are the soil degradation, the pesticide runoff, and the poor water management. They are being negatively impacted by agriculture and olive growth. And in parallel, agriculture influences the system positively on food production and farmers. So the participants describe a continuous tension between the necessary integration of agricultural practice for the local population and the potential of negative impact on the environment. Another cluster identified is global challenge, composed of pollution, sustainability, education, innovation, policy, funding, and climate change. And this global challenge represent variables that are external to the system. They are impacted by the system, but without being controlled by other variables. So participants acknowledge they are present without formulating mitigation strategy. Local and adaptive capacity. So local community organization is an intermediate variable. So it has the ability to receive and transmit effects, and this reflects the fact that participants recognize the powerful presence of the local community and the ability to adapt to change. And yeah, so finally, to conclude, this result reflects the knowledge gained by participants from this training during the seminar, but also all the activities organized. We had the chance to discover the Biosphere Reserve, but also its unique culture through food, music, dance, and especially the conviviality of the community. So I would like to conclude this little presentation to thank the host of the place we visited, but also the organizer, the presenter, the translator, and everyone we met there. And I would also like to thank all the participants for their enthusiasm involvement during the workshop. Thank you.